Hello, everybody. Welcome back to a brand new podcast episode. We are here to talk about Maul Shadow Lord. Just premiered yesterday. I am here with my sister Sierra. We have Riley, and we are also joined remotely by Noah. Thank y'all so much for being here. I'm super excited. Riley is our newest podcast host, so thank you for being here and putting up with us.
Always.
Noah is going to be our recurring guest who can come as often as he can.
Oh,
so
boy.
thank you so much. I'm so excited to have y'all both here. What did you say?
Nothing. Excited to be on.
Okay. So, Maul just came out yesterday. I want to hear right off the bat y'all's initial thoughts of this series. And also want to hear your thoughts about them already renewing a season 2.
Yeah, so for starters, I didn't watch any of the trailers or anything. I was meaning to, I just never got around to it until I was like, oh, episode's already out. Let me just go ahead and watch this. After watching both of them, fantastic so far. Like, it makes me feel like a kid again watching, like, Clone Wars for the first time. Really enjoying it through and through so far.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. The whole feel of it just feels very different. For some reason, I was expecting it to feel a lot like the Bad Batch, and I don't really know why, but I mean, it did kind of Clone Wars animation in general. It had that Clone Wars Bad Batch feel to it, but on top of that, I also was feeling a little bit of like the Mandalorian, maybe a little bit of Andor, like type thing on top of that, which I think was really cool. I really enjoyed that. And
I heard that.
hang on, I'm still thinking thoughts because I
Pterodactyl.
Okay, because I literally just watched the episode like 30
Life,
minutes. Now
finds a
we
way.
talk about Jurassic Park. I mean, we can come back around.
Yeah,
so as you have
come
more
back.
thoughts. Noah, what did you think about it?
I really liked it. I think there's been a lot of Star Wars projects that we've gotten used to lately that start off really slow, and I think the term slow burn has gotten really overused, and I think, at least from this show, there was at no point where I felt there was a single scene of dialogue that was wasted. It felt like it was fast-paced, it felt like it was filled with action, but also dialogue that was interesting, wasn't a snooze fest, and I felt like every single, as I mentioned before, scene just wasn't wasted. The animation really stuck out to me because this is Clone Wars animation, but I don't know if y'all noticed, the backgrounds, especially in the cityscapes and a lot of the other things, it's a lot more dirty, it's a lot more grimy, but it almost looked cel-shaded in a way. It almost looked 2D animated, almost like a painted type background-esque is what it seemed like they were going for. I noticed a lot of inspiration maybe from the Puss in Boots art style, so to see a little bit more of that artistic out there art style combined with the 3D animation in Clone Wars, I mean, it was a really, really strong way to convey what Coruscant and what vibe they wanted Coruscant to be, at least at that time. So I really was, I was blown away, and that doesn't happen super often lately with Star Wars, but I was really impressed with everything. I'd say this, I don't want to say 10 out of 10, but I would say it's about as close as you can get for a first 2 episodes. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was something a lot of people were talking about, because I didn't get a chance to watch the episodes until, like, earlier today, but all yesterday, the first thing I heard people's reaction was the animation and how great it was, and I was like, okay, I didn't realize, what kind of animation it would be, because I watched trailers, but I didn't watch that many. So when I saw it, like, right out the gate, when they first showed the city, I was like, oh, like, I know what people are talking about when they say the animation's great. And then same with, like, Maul's saber.
Yeah.
I really like that choice that they had made with it, because it just, I don't know, something about it is just, it gave Kylo Ren vibes, for sure. Like, with his saber, how it's not very clean.
Yeah, I agree. I think similar to what Noah said, like the grittiness and how everything's dirty fits with the overall theme of the show. Like it's going to be a darker tone.
Yeah.
Even with this animation, I think we're in for a very interesting story.
Yeah, and that's also interesting to me, like, who the target audience is for, like, this show, because
Definitely
it's
adult orientated.
Exactly. So I mean, even some of the notes we got, people were like, "Yeah, this isn't a kids show," which is funny to me because
It doesn't
the
feel
Clone
like
Wars.
Star Wars if it's not generated towards kids and families.
Sorry, Jonathan. Sorry.
Oh my gosh, I love how we're not even 5 minutes in, or no, not even 10 minutes in, and we're just
Damn,
throwing
pissed me off
insults.
about Andor. Yeah, don't get me started.
Yeah. It's interesting to me because the target audience now for Star Wars is like it's audience like adults. That's what I'm trying to say. Adults are the ones like watching all the Star Wars shows and things coming out. And so it's nice because we're not all like I'm going to keep talking while he's dying over there. It's nice that we're not all like, giant Star Wars fans watching these kid shows, that's like, you know what I mean? Which at the
Yeah.
same time, though, I guess if it was more kid targeted, then a lot of adults probably wouldn't be watching it. But it's cool to me that we have, something animated, but it still like has those, more mature themes.
I mean, Star Wars has also done a fantastic job as to like hooking in people like adults that are maybe outside of some of the show's intended audience range, just because of how much lore and story there is to everything. And it's like, oh, did you see this one background character? Well, so and so has a 3-part book trilogy on where whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, okay, actually, I do want to ask, do y'all prefer live action or animated Star Wars shows?
Oh, Lord.
Noah seems to have an opinion on this.
Oh, I'd like to hear.
I'm pretty
everyone
sure
else
you've
go
got an
first.
opinion on everything.
Yeah, no, I'm very strong about this.
Yeah, let's go around the room. We all look at
Give me a
Sarah.
second to think about it, because I'm not really sure.
Riley,
Okay,
you gotta
right.
kick us off, I guess.
Well, I don't know.
The adult
I'll
in the room.
start then. Yeah, live action.
Live
Even
action.
though I don't necessarily love every single live action product they've come out with in the last, I don't know, decade, some stand out as being better than others. But all in all, that's where my mind goes to when I think of Star Wars. Yeah, Clone Wars will always be up there, but my first thought when I'm thinking about Star Wars is the prequels. That live action, and I just think there's something about it. I can't quite put my finger on what it is. It feels more real.
What about shows specifically?
Shows specifically, still probably live action. I mean,
Okay.
Mandalorian and Andor were some of my favorite shows ever. Just outside of Star Wars, just any sort of TV show. And that being said, like Clone Wars is also fantastic, as we all know. But again, it feels a lot more grounded. Something that you can. It's easier for me to relate to whatever story we're seeing, even if it is, galaxy far, far away and dealing with aliens and space wizards. It's a lot easier to, feel more real, and it's like, oh, you look at it and it's the stories feel more impactful for me.
Yeah, I completely agree. Star Wars has always belonged on the big screen to begin with, let alone specifically live action. But when you even hone in on the shows, yeah, it's great that you can get more Star Wars content because animated content is easier and it's cheaper to produce. However, the impact and the level of mature, just feels like when you have a live action project, no matter what, it's much more mature. It's a lot more respectable because you're still creating another universe on screen with real people, with real props, with real sets, and so that's significantly harder to pull off and earns much more of my attention because if you can draw me into the Star Wars universe, physically, what is it?
I don't know. She's just smiling.
Just making
She's
faces
just
over
going
here.
off right
It
now.
is having nothing to do with what you were saying.
That's why I assumed.
Anyway, continue.
But yeah, I love Star Wars animation. I think it's incredible, and there's a lot of emotion. There's sometimes a lot more emotion that you can convey from an animated piece, but Star Wars at its core has always been best on the big screen, and live action is the closest thing that we will get to having that on the big screen, at least on our TV screens. So animation feels almost like a completely separate, I don't want to say universe, but a completely separate reality. than the Star Wars that we're used to.
Yeah, that's true. And I mean, like, the animation we've gotten, like, a lot of times it is, like, a completely separate storyline from, you know, everything else in Star Wars. But then, like, you get Ahsoka, which is bridging, like, Rebels that we had and things like that coming together. So it is cool to see it tie in. But yeah, the animation, they for sure, like, do a lot more, like, going deeper into, like, different characters and different things. Which I do really enjoy. I would agree, though. I think I like live action more than animation. I do enjoy reviewing animated shows, though. I did learn that. I prefer reviewing the animated ones over live action ones. I don't know why, but it's been fun. With Maul, though, them announcing a season 2 right out the gate did get me very excited, just with the idea that they have a clear plan of what they want and where they're going, you know, versus like, oh, let's do a Maul, you know, thing and see how it's going. But them to have, you know, season 1 already, you know, completed and then like have the idea for what they want for season 2 gets me excited. And I know a lot of, you know, people are talking about how this is George's, you know, they're using George's original plan for what he wanted for the sequel trilogy in this way, which we can talk about a little bit more. Which is interesting to me because it's something I have always wanted to see, you know, because that was the plan, is like Maul, you know, is going to try to be, you know, the biggest crime boss that there is, and like that whole plan. And it's just, I mean, we don't know much about Maul because he, you know, he shows up throughout times, and like in Rebels, you know, it's very interesting and kind of like you don't know where he's been all this time, and then he shows up like this homeless man with a cane, you know, and it's all like really weird. So I am curious to see his story at this point and how they're kind of using George's inspiration, I guess, for this show. So I'm curious how it's going to go.
I'm very excited to see the way it bridges familiar Star Wars with kind of where it is now. Because, I mean, obviously, things are familiar, but I'm excited to see kind of more George Lucas Star Wars, more things. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see where season 1 takes us from a story perspective, and the promise of at least a season 2 gets me a bit more on board. So it's not necessarily just like a micro series, if you will, or you know, it's like 10 episodes here and gone, and then you snap your fingers. And
that's what I didn't really like about the Tales series that they did. Like, they were like, some of the episodes were really good, but I didn't like how short it was.
Yeah, I like how it seems, at least so far, even at only that 2 episodes are out, but it seems like we are going to get a much more complete story. Like almost an analogy of like Rogue One, where it kind of bridged that gap where it's like, okay, we're getting the full cycle of Maul's story. Because I mean, we know how it ends.
Yeah.
But what
There have been
happened in
people
the-
talking. They're like, "What do you think about that being retconned?"
No. No shot.
Yeah, which I mean, not that it's gonna happen, but people keep talking about it and wanting it to happen.
About what being retcon?
Maul's death.
Oh my god.
Yeah, see, retcon, no.
For the third time.
Yeah,
Oh.
Exactly.
which is funny to me because at that point, like, if you keep retconning things,
Yeah,
nothing's
you
gonna make
can't.
sense. You know, it's like, oh, this happened. No, just kidding. It didn't.
It's- Yeah, I don't think you could get away with retconning that. It's-
No.
I'll be the first to admit I thought his second death was stupid.
Really?
Listen, like, okay, I'm gonna sound like such a snob here, but you mean to tell me, and listen, I've heard Sam Witwer's explanation about their final fight between Ben and Darth Maul. I get it. You know, there's a lot of emotion behind that. But you're telling me that Obi-Wan, who's still got a little bit left in the tank, and then Darth Maul, who should be still well into his, I don't want to say physical peak, but he's still well capable as a Sith, as a fighter. You mean to tell me that he goes out with one slash? Oh yeah, no, Obi-Wan changed stances. Oh, it's so artistic. Yeah, okay. Like, really, we've got one of the greatest Sith lords out there who, you know, survived all this, that. and then he just gets sliced by an old man just in one swoop. This is the dumbest thing. I don't
He did it
care.
once,
I'm
he could
sorry.
easily do
Rebels
it
is
again.
stupid. That show is stupid. That fight is stupid. His death is stupid. I'm sorry. God.
Tell us how you really feel.
It's getting clipped.
No, Rebels makes me so mad. I'm sorry. I don't care.
Yes, we know this.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No. Go. You continue your rant.
And it's like I said, I saw Sam Witwer's excellent explanation, and I understand that there was a lot of thought behind it. Well, there was a young and inexperienced Obi-Wan at first with that first dance, but then we see an older, wiser Obi-Wan. Woo! He died in one swoop. I don't care. It sucked.
I wish it was a bore.
Darth Maul Shadow Lord goes out by an old cryptic man that looks like, he could be Betty White's husband at this point. Oh yeah, he goes in one slash. Great fight, guys. Well done. Shadow Lord.
Yeah.
That's how tough big bad crime syndicate goes out. Yeehaw.
Which is actually really funny to me. Like Darth Maul, like he is portrayed as like super powerful, and even in these first 2 episodes, he's like unstoppable.
Yeah.
Anyone who's tried to come up against him it's not even a challenge.
So how the hell
But,
did we get
like,
to that point?
In season 7, like Ahsoka beat him easily. I mean, not easily, but she one-upped Darth Maul, the Sith Lord, who has had so many years of training. She just comes back, like, okay, I'm a Jedi again, and beats him. You know what I mean? And then, like, in
Ahsoka's
Rebels...
a girl.
Yeah?
Yeah, she always has been. She was trained by the Chosen One. What do you mean?
But, and then in Rebels, like, same thing. Like, Obi-Wan just takes him out. So it's funny how he's portrayed as, like, this huge, unstoppable dude, but just constantly gets beat.
Yeah, I mean, we get the idea of his, I guess, unstoppable or powerful nature from a lot of the interactions outside of him dealing with, Jedi or whatever.
Mm-hmm. That's his weakness.
I guess I don't know. Seeing
Yeah.
him interact with literally everyone else in the show so far in both of the first 2 episodes has been great. Like it's much more calculated. Everything is extremely intentional. I mean, we don't necessarily know like the full plan. He hinted at taking down Darth Sidious and getting revenge, but like we don't necessarily know how all the bricks are going to fall in place or whatever. So I'm excited to see that and him just being a menace to any and everything in his way. Mm-hmm. That's the Maul I want to see. I want to see him be a problem.
A big problem?
A big problem.
Yeah. Which I am excited to see because his monologue in season 7 is one of my favorite scenes in the Clone Wars. Like, just talking to Ahsoka about how, Anakin's this chosen one, he's been groomed and trained and this and that, we gotta take him out. Like, that whole thing is just, it's so cool with such conviction. And, that's where you see is, like, his character is just changing and, like what are his motives for everything, and like because he even in this new series he's like I talking to what's her name the Twi'lek, and he's like oh, you see me as the villain or like something like that, like kind of like I'm not the villain. It's just interesting, like how does he see himself and what are his motives and like what's his end goal at this point in the show.
I mean, I think it is plain and simple, just revenge. He's taken out all the other syndicates and the groups that have wronged him or betrayed him or whatever, which is super cool to see. And just, he doesn't care who gets hurt in the process. It's very much just like a path of destruction.
Yeah. And I wonder, does he have in his mind, and then what? After you do that, if you succeed, then what? Is it like Thanos, where he's like, okay, now let me go live in my house in peace, or like, and then I'll rule the galaxy. Like, what's his end goal in mind? That's what I'm curious to see.
Have we ever really actually seen Maul achieve whatever end goal he has?
No,
Because
I don't think so.
it just changes before he gets there. Like with him taking over Mandalore,
You're
that
right.
wasn't like necessarily his end goal. It was just a step along the way. And then him wanting, revenge and finding Kenobi, making him pay. And then like I think the goals have shifted before he's ever reached the end.
Yeah, maybe he's never really gotten that far.
Yeah, I don't know.
Someone can ask him that. Rock his whole world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be a fun conversation.
Him in therapy. He's like, I don't know. Oh,
what do you want?
revenge?
I know that.
And then
Yeah.
Yeah. Because he doesn't really want to be emperor. He doesn't want to be in full control. And he kind of has this mindset of the empire is here. This is what I'm going to do about it. And like kind of just self-gain, but not in full control.
I mean, and he does talk about like wanting power though as well, you know. So like, what does that look like for him? Just to be powerful or to be in power?
For him, it looks like dying in an old man's arms after one slash. Because he's an
Yeah,
idiot.
and then talking about the boy he found
Yeah.
in the desert all
Yeah.
those years ago.
Hated the man in your entire life, and now you're sitting in his arms like a softie. Good God. Sorry.
It's like waiting in line at the mall for pictures with Santa.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
At the mall?
Oh, Kenobi,
Yeah, the
I
Maul.
want
The
another
Darth Maul.
lightsaber. Please, for Christmas.
Add another one to the number of lightsabers buried in the sand.
Right?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Use code DRIFT10.
What stood out to y'all in those first 2 episodes that we saw?
Like story wise or
Story wise, yeah.
Okay.
We've talked about the animation a bit. We've talked about the like Maul's character so far and backstory, but like what we saw, what has stood out to y'all the most so far?
To me, real quick, I'll jump in. What I think stood out is what didn't stand out. I like, as someone that grew up as Jango Fett, was my favorite character. I love criminal underworld stuff. I love the seedy sides of Coruscant. I loved everything that was kind of unseen in Star Wars because we're always, focused on the big, the bad, and the Skywalker family. So it's nice to see the background and how everything plays out behind the scenes. And I think so far I'm enjoying just how low level, even though it includes someone like Maul, a character like him is being infused into this world of people that are technically significantly beneath him, but he's still friends with these people, he's associates with these people, and just how he works and how people gain his respect. It's really interesting. I really like the droid so far. The little droid character, I think this is one of the most non-annoying droids I've seen yet. And he really reminded me of like a Smeagol. There was a line where he was like, I see you.
That's
and I was like,
exactly what I thought too.
I was like, oh my God. I was like,
Spybot or whatever
yeah.
its name
Yeah,
is.
I don't know his name, but it's so far, like I said, everything's been well voice acted. Every character I've loved it so far. So
Yeah. You know, I do really like the introduction of how they have the 2 Jedi. This is what stood out to me. It's because it's been reused constantly over the years. Like, we keep getting different Order 66 perspectives, and they're all pretty much the same.
tired of it. Everyone survived at this point.
Exactly.
Yeah, Anakin
And
did
so
not
it's
do a
just the
good
same
job.
thing. Like, they're on the run, and then something happens, and then they meet a bad guy, and they kill them, and then it's like, oh, that's the end of, the story or whatever that happened in Tales and all of those things. So it's interesting to me to see, 2 Jedi come along, and it doesn't seem like the same copy and paste story, especially with her name's Devin, I remember. Like her
Zara.
story. I'm curious to see where that goes. And if she's going to be Darth Talon or not, because obviously there's a lot of
I
speculation.
mean,
around
if
that.
if not, then it's a great misdirect. Because
like-
how many people do you think are like, oh, that has to be, and then if it doesn't turn out
Yeah.
to be Darth Talon,
She dies like halfway through the first
yeah, it's
season.
like a massive misdirect would be huge. It'd be great.
The one thing I can give animation, this is what's great about Devin, is I feel like when we do get animated, and this is something that I can definitely see where live action suffers, we get a lot more alien or humanoid type characters, which is crazy to me because, Star Wars live action, I get that it's a lot harder for maybe humans to relate or fall in love with characters that are obviously nowhere close to human beings. But with a universe as vast as it is, I think there are some really cool characters that are not humans that should probably have a little bit more time worth exploring. And so that's what this show is doing a really great job of so far, is having a diverse cast. Maybe not necessarily in the way that a lot of people would think, but
Yeah, because in live action, they have a lot of aliens, but they're always just background
Background,
characters.
yeah.
They're just back there. They're not a main character. So that is true. I do like that.
Was it just me? This is a really random thought, but it's something I kept thinking while watching it. All of the aliens in this show, the design of them reminded me of aliens from Lilo and Stitch. I don't know
I mean,
why
there's
that.
a bit more like color variation as far as like something we've typically seen. I
They all
want to
just
say,
look like
or at least-
bubbles.
Oh
At
boy.
least it stood out more to me.
That
I
is
guess.
just a random side thought that I could not shake the entire time watching it last night. But anyway,
I mean, I feel like a lot of the alien species we've been having are ones that we've seen before
Yeah.
in Star Wars. Of course, with this animation, it's like heavily
It's just
updated
different.
and looks really nice.
Yeah.
That's
Interesting.
crazy comparison.
I can't shake it every time I see an alien.
She's like, Lilo and Stitch.
Exactly.
It's nuts.
Oh
That's
my
interesting.
gosh. What about you? What stood out to you the most?
That was not what stood out to me, to be clear.
Do you want
It
to
kind of
give your
sounded like
answer?
that was your answer.
Yeah, that's the comparison of
Well, I mean, in
Maul
fairness,
Shadow Wars.
I couldn't shake
Lilo
Lilo
and
and Stitch. That that really swung it
What are
home
your
for
thoughts
me.
here at Lilo and Stitch?
Exactly. That's just forefront. No, actually, for me, it was just Maul's character and how. Literally, this sounds really lame, but just how cool he is because all of his fights, all of his fights and everything were just. I don't know, something about the depth and the layers of it, of his character, and how he went from being like, oh, I'm a Sith. And people talk about this all the time, how he's like, oh, he doesn't think he's the bad guy, but he's not the good guy either. That just, I'm very intrigued, and I'm really excited to see where that goes. And also the animation, which we talked about.
Yeah. I don't know. The first thing to me that stood out was the first time we saw Maul in episode 1 with the that scene literally just gave me chills. I was like, oh, this is
I
it.
mean, Duel of Fate stars playing.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and it was like it was perfect.
I love his hood
I'm-
and his little poncho type robe that he's got. That's a really sweet addition.
It's a
Such a
really
cool
cool look. It's a nice like update to
Yeah.
the character. Like nothing's massively changed.
No.
Just a cool outfit.
Yeah.
I like it.
I like seeing the perspective too of like, this. I forgot his name too, but the main guy who's trying to like hunt down and figure out who Maul is.
Brander Lawson.
Yeah, but how
I
like
got
he
a
doesn't
character sheet
know.
pulled up. I'm cheating.
No, that's good. It's good. I should have
He is
had one.
cheating.
You should have not said that. We would
No,
all
yeah.
just
Say
be
if we
so
need
impressed.
anything, I've got all the. No, well, no. I want to be fair and impartial, of course. I don't want to,
That's
Hang
why-
your knowledge over
That's a
all our
horrible
heads.
name. Scorn. That's the other Zabrak. That's his name.
Is that the one with the
Scorn.
minigun or?
I think so. Yeah, he's big and brolic and beefy.
Yeah, he had the minigun then.
His name
Probably.
fits
Like he'd be an
his
adult
whole
entertainer in
personality.
real life.
That or a circus performer.
Both these days.
Yeah, probably.
Or wait, is it
But
Icarus?
anyway. Anyway, I like how it's like he doesn't know who Maul is,
Yeah.
because in like the past, any interaction we've had with like characters, it's like Jedi or whatever, and they all know, oh, it's Maul. We know all about this guy, and so to see people like he's just running around town doing all kinds of stuff, and they're like, who the heck even is this guy?
Yeah.
It's really cool to me.
I mean, it goes to show just how big the galaxy is, and I really like that
That's what
because
I like about it. Yeah.
when we have these massive stories like any three of the trilogies, it feels like everyone kind of knows each other or has heard of each other. It makes the galaxy feel smaller, and that's one of the things I like about some of the animated shows a lot more, even with some of the live action shows, is the way they tell the story and introduce new characters tends to make the galaxy feel much bigger. Not everyone needs to know each other. Not everyone needs to have heard of so-and-so or whatever. The more people who are like, who is this red guy with horns on his head? I've never heard of him or never seen him, but he's scary. He's causing trouble. I like that.
Yeah. I absolutely love to go off of that. The idea that you can really see not only government ineptitude, but you can really see, it's a prime example of what happens when people take too much pride in their jobs. I think Captain Lawson saying, okay, like this is a classified file, but no, let's just handle it at this level. I think it's a great example of Well, not only is it an awesome, because a lot of people when seeing a situation like this, they're like, why wouldn't the Empire get involved? Obviously, Darth Vader's a big deal, and so not only did it cover that really well, but it added a whole layer of depth to show just how many levels there are before even the Empire would come across something like this. But the level that the Empire, we've always heard about it having such big control and having this wide grip and reign of power, but the problem is it just shows how stretched thin the Empire, really any government would be in a situation like that. There's a whole lot of different layers to them not wanting to, alert the Empire right away, and I think that's really cool. And I'm excited to see where they go with that. I'd be excited if the Empire doesn't get involved right away or doesn't have any type of affiliation immediately. Or potentially, we were teased that Darth Maul did call someone Lord, and there's a potential that maybe somebody in the Empire is already well aware of this, and then there's there's just a lot of different directions they could go with that, and I'm really excited for that.
Yeah, I think if the Empire were to get involved, like right off the bat, it would change the tone of the show to just a hunt, where
Yeah.
it's like, oh, okay, cool, the Empire's here now. Maul is on the run forever.
Yeah.
Like, I like them staying out at least for now. If they get involved, I would be interested to see how. Kind of like what you said, yeah.
Yeah, and I kind of like how they're teasing that, though, at the same time, like, and not doing it right away, like, oh, let's call the Empire, but, like, every episode, it might come up, like, oh, like, should we get the Empire involved now? And they're like, no, like, hold off. So it's kind of like, we're like, okay, like,
Yeah.
waiting, like, what's going to happen.
I mean, Two Boots brought it up in the second episode again.
That name, though, oh my
Cool,
gosh.
cool name. The droid's got personality. I like it. It's another character.
He's my favorite.
Does he actually
so
have
far.
boots?
Yeah, they showed it in.
I wasn't paying attention.
One of the
Just feet.
He
one of
has
the
two of them.
scenes, and yeah,
Wow, really? It's a fitting name.
probably.
Then. No, that was an interesting name to me.
Oh, I like it. He's got personality. It's more personable than I don't even know how many other droids we've seen in any other.
Yeah,
Star
he
Wars
reminds me of like
production as well.
K2SO, K2SO vibes.
Yeah.
A little less sarcasm, of course, but I do like that. He's a cool droid because a lot of the shows will introduce droids and try to immediately force them as being like, oh, lovable, because like C-3PO and R2-D2 are so iconic, and so in all the shows they try to have like the sidekick droid. But for me, they've never really been. It's never the same as like those two. So I like how he just has his own personality. Like it doesn't feel forced or anything. Like oh, this is the droid that we love immediately.
He's also out there giving contrary opinions.
Yeah.
Like his partner is the one who's like, no, we need to keep it under wraps, and he listens to Lawson, but he still voices his opinions, which is cool. It adds more complexity and dynamic relationships and things like that. It's interesting.
Yeah. Or the potential he'll be like, I called the Empire.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do about it? So, be interesting. But yeah, I mean, it's also interesting to me. Let me try to explain this. See if y'all can follow along. I guess. Never mind. No, I'm kidding.
You lost me.
Where were we?
Like what? What are we talking about? Is how like Darth Maul, kind of like what Noah was saying, how you said you like seeing this kind of Star Wars where it's like the underworld criminal, not having to do with the Jedi or anything like that, is how there's always been like those two sides of Star Wars. Like it's either the big overall like the Sith versus Jedi kind of fight, and then there's like these underworld behind the scenes, like what else is happening in the galaxy aside from the main story. So it's cool to see Maul over here on this side with the whole underworld aspect, and when he's like on the Sith Jedi kind of tier, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And so it'd be interesting to see like if down the road, like, towards the end of the season, if the Empire does get involved, like to see that bridge of both sides. It'd just be really cool.
This is something I've been saying for a while, and one of the things that I was going to say when we talk about the Mandalorian movie upcoming and kind of my hopes for that is that the stakes are smaller. Similar to the show
sense.
right now feels like the stakes aren't massive. Like, yeah, if Maul gets what he wants, it doesn't feel like the whole galaxy is just going to implode on
Crumble.
itself
Yeah.
and everything and everyone just dies. And that's similar to like Mando season 1 almost, where it's like, if Moff Gideon did get his way, the only real thing that happens is Navarro's vaporized. At least that's what the impression was at the time, and then it got blown out of scale and this and that. Not every single show or movie needs to have massive
World-shattering
galactic-wide
effect. Yeah.
effect. Because then the timeline is so full already. It's like, oh well, then where was so and so, or where were these characters while this was happening? If
Yeah.
the world's at stake, were they just sitting at home and
Just watching it on the
twiddling their
news.
thumbs? Like what were they doing? So
Yeah.
it adds a different layer of storytelling. Not every single story needs to be catastrophic, world-ending violence and destruction.
Yeah. What is
That's why
that
I'm
face,
enjoying this.
Noah?
Nothing. I'm just sitting back.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I don't think you like that opinion.
Yeah,
No,
I agree.
I was mostly on board with it, but I will say, Mandalorian season 1 had had some very large implications, especially because the Empire gaining access to something as force sensitive and as powerful with that type of potential, I think had a lot of implications. But I agreed with your sentiment.
It was a nice thought.
Yeah, I tried.
No, yeah. Yeah.
I do think there were implications, but I get what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah. Do we have some listener notes
Yes.
to go through?
We do.
Oh, boy.
One more thing, though, that I was just thinking is this show puts the audience in an interesting perspective of who are they rooting for. Because, like, if Maul
Yes.
has bad motives, not bad motives, good motives, bad methods. Because in my mind, I'm like, I'm rooting for Maul because he's sick. But
He looks cool.
He's
he
a cool
looks
character.
but
He's hot.
Hey.
But yeah, it's kind of interesting because then you take a step back and you're like, oh no, wait, like who am I rooting for in this? So very interesting. I like the theme of the show.
Yeah.
How it's like not clear good versus evil, which is something that he said.
I completely agree on that. I think the most important thing that we can get from Star Wars, or honestly any movie media, storytelling is amazing when it's not just good and evil, and it's not just your classic, God versus the devil. It's when you see bad people interact with other bad people, and sometimes some are better and some are worse. I love morality being explored, and that's where I think we suffered with Book of Boba Fett and other series like that, is we took characters who have questionable morality and then turned them into this golden statue of, oh, look at them, they're redeemed, they're all of a sudden this blah, blah, blah. I don't want Darth Maul to be redeemed. I don't want any of these characters to have a good arc where it's like all of a sudden we're like, oh, we're on the path to doing good things, because bad people can do good things. Bad people can do bad things, and it's not always bad. With Book of Boba Fett, like it always, and I apologize for going off on this, but I never understood the fact that you have someone who has been a trained merciless killer throughout his entire life, and then he gets dragged out of the sand by these sand people. He gets brought to their little hometown or whatever. He gets brought across the desert. He gets beat. He gets starved. He gets dragged. And then the one moment that Boba Fett finally gets an ounce of freedom and he has a chance to absolutely mangle the stupid little child that dragged him across the desert, he goes back. And they're buddy. They hold hands and walk back to the camp. It's like, and that's not even, like, if Boba Fett would have fried the kid or beat him to death with a stick on the spot, nobody would have even questioned it. I mean, he had literally been dragged across the desert, tortured, starved, dehydrated. And he just goes back and is like, oh, they gave me a stick. Oh my God, I love these people now. What? No!
It was a cool stick. No, I'm kidding.
That kid's head would have been on a pole. If it were me.
That or 400 feet away.
Yeah, I would have. I would have
Primary
used it.
bonds.
I would have used it as a soccer ball on my way back to the Tuscan camp, and then I would have fried all those little freaks. So stupid.
Yeah.
Kidding me?
Killed the women and the
And
children, too.
And like I said,
Yeah.
while we're on that, Anakin didn't even do anything wrong. Everyone goes all off about how, oh yeah, him killing the sand people wasn't all that bad. They killed and did other questionable things to his mom. Anyone does that to my mom, I'm doing 10 times worse.
Valid.
Like, Jedi Temple, yeah, sure, there's some problems there morally. I'll give you that one. But like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like when you kill and you ravage my mom, I would have done just the same, if not worse. But we
Yeah.
need complex morality back in Star Wars, and that's what I'm excited about with this show. Is it showcases that bad people can do good and bad things. So
Leads to
excellent
great
concept.
storytelling, great conversations and debates about things exactly like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's why I am really curious to see how it goes. Because we see Maul years later in Rebels and things like that, and he's not some good guy. So we
Yeah.
know that he never went, on the path of, the path of righteousness, I guess.
But it does have to be well written, and that's why I have
Mm-hmm.
faith in Sam Witwer, because he has a true passion for quality writing and these characters. Because sometimes you can take good characters and make them do bad things, and it's not good writing. The Last Jedi. A lot of people will argue this and are still arguing this to the decade, and will be until the end of time. Luke's character assassination. Wow, assassination. I went Mike Tyson there for a second. And him even thinking for a brief second about killing his sisters and best friend's son, even for a half a second, I don't care, is just absolutely ridiculous in my opinion. And so that's a prime example of when you do have questionable morality in storytelling and it's just not good. So I think Sam Witwer, I do have a lot of good faith in him. I always have. He's never steered anybody wrong, outside of maybe Maul's death scene. But other than that, he's
Maybe
great.
that wasn't his decision, and he's just trying to make the best of it.
Hopefully, we'll go with that. We'll go
Yeah.
with that
We'll talk to him about that someday.
someday.
Yeah. No, I mean, already Sam Witwer has talked so much about, just how much he likes this show and the decisions and, how into it he is. So, it
Does
seems
he have
like...
producer credit? I thought I saw that
I
he had a credit for producing as well.
That's what
don't
I
know.
heard, but I haven't seen anything about it. So
Yeah. Let me look it up.
I wouldn't be surprised if he did. Because already he seems to be, very hands-on with this show. So, I'm excited. He's a cool dude. I really like him. He, fun fact while you're looking that up, he loves fruit snacks.
That's horrible.
So we were at Rebel ScumCon, we were working the green room and stuff, and so it was my job to figure out what everybody liked and get it for them. And that was one of the few things that he actually ate that weekend.
the diet
So.
of fruit snacks is crazy.
Yeah, well, because I kept them in a special stash because I had bought them for, myself, and only a
And
few of the
Rory.
guests who I really liked would get them. And so he was looking for something to have, and I was like, do you want this? He's like, no. And I was like, do you want this? He was like, I don't know. It was like, I opened the cabinet, and I pull out the fruit snacks. I was like, you want some fruit snacks? He was like, yes, I do. So he, grabbed a handful and went back downstairs.
I think you all find this interesting. It is worth mentioning that even though I don't see anything, and it is IMDb, so it's not always up to date, but George Lucas actually has writing credit on this series.
Wow.
Ooh,
I am seeing it on there. It is his name. He is attached to it, so
Interesting.
whatever that means.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess if they took story treatments or whatever that he had and they're turning it into the show, I could see them giving him credit for that.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, that's interesting for me too, because originally, I guess, if this was George Lucas's, in George Lucas's perfect world, if this was the sequel trilogy, this would be a huge, world-shattering kind of a thing. Like how you were saying, how you like how it isn't like that.
Not
so
yet.
Exactly. So it's interesting to see them adapting that story, and changing it. Okay, let's, since the sequel trilogy has already been made, let's make a series, but let's, they have to change it up a little bit to make it not so world-ending. I mean, we'll see as it goes on. Maybe it is higher stakes than we think it is at the moment, but it's interesting to see that change, but it's still the same concept. It's cool. It's very fitting for Darth Maul. So anyway, listener notes that we have. First one,
Oh,
I mean, it's
Lord.
funny. The first one is, I'd like to see people call this a kid's show. ... That's very
Yeah.
true. I mean, it is graphic. Not to extreme.
Graphic?
Implied.
For an animated show, let's say you put this on for your 3 or 4 year old.
Yeah, and she would fall asleep to this. My God. Really?
I think it's
I get the tones. I know what y'all mean, but it's still
I wouldn't say it's graphic. I
it's
think
geared
Okay,
towards-
poor choice of
more-
wording.
I think it's more implied. Like even the scene in the second episode we saw where Maul was basically holding the pike
Oh, that's sweet.
up on the
Stole that
on
from
the
Darth
ceiling.
Vader, though.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
sure
gonna-
he
I'm
That
gonna
would
go
be
more
cool.
into that.
Yeah, okay, whatever. But he was holding him up on the ceiling, and then like the camera cuts.
Yeah.
We all know what happens because
we
the
get the
sound and
stab.
the lights,
That was cool.
and it was awesome. It was
It was
super
so
cool
cool.
scene, but it's implied. We don't ever actually
Mm-hmm.
see it. And then there's another. Trying to think. There's one other example I had, but I forgot what it was that we had already seen, but it's dark because of the implied, also because of what we see and what happens, but what we don't see is also equally as cool to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's more so like the themes of the show. It's more, something that, we would be more invested in following the story. But like you said, if you put it on for your daughter, she would fall asleep because it's like,
I would hate to see an underworld show or something about Maul that is geared toward kids. Like, is all sunshine and rainbows and happy.
Yeah, that would not work.
Like, I would not be interested in that, if I'm honest.
Which is why I do like the fight scenes that we got so far, but I have a very hot take that I'm going to get some flack for, and I'm going to say this with my chest. I might be the only one to say this, and this is, oh my god, I'm so sorry in advance. We can have really cool fight scenes outside of hallways. I'm just going to put that out there. Like, it's getting to the point where it's like, okay, like, Daredevil had it, Darth Vader had it, Luke Skywalker had it, Mandalorian has had it multiple times, and we're probably going to get another one in this next movie. Can we have a little bit more variation? Because it feels like now we're just like putting hallway fight scenes in content to be like, oh, he's got his hallway scene. Oh my god, dude, he's got the hallway scene. And then it gets the clicks, people put it on Instagram, they sit in the corner and be like, here's my reaction. And then this is them, oh, hallway scene, bro. Oh, that's crazy. It's so much like Darth Vader. Like, I am tired. I think hallway scenes are starting to get overused. And granted, this one was good. Darth Maul looked great. The choreography and everything was awesome. But can we start, like, can we have fights in other places besides hallways? K2SO got a hallway scene in Andor. Like, come on. Everyone's getting a hallway scene at this point. I haven't seen the new Mario
what would be
movie, but...
your ideal fights?
Oh my god,
space?
anywhere besides a hallway at this point. Like, please.
Yeah,
I don't
what
care
would
if it's
be-
a
what are you- what are you
closet. I don't
looking
care if
for?
it's someone's basement. I'm
closet.
tired of hallways. Can we, like, on top of a building, a collapsing building? Like, let's give some, like, like
Change of scenery, yeah.
creativity, please.
Yeah.
I'm tired of hallways. Like, everyone gets their hallway scene. As I'd mentioned, I have not seen the Super Mario movie yet, but I have no doubt Princess Peach might have her own hallway fight scene at this point. Like, everyone is getting a hallway scene. I'm sorry.
No,
I'm tired of
she
it.
had a fight scene in a casino.
Okay, yeah, that's
that's not
never
one.
been done.
Not a
God.
hallway.
No, I actually agree with what Noah's saying. Like, as cool as that scene was,
And it was.
Yeah. I think
I had the
think
same
they
thought
go
of,
for it
like,
because it's like
it's-
it got that more intimidating factor of like having this character like just walking consistently taking people down while they're trying to run down a hallway, So
And it's not even Maul's
do-
first hallway scene.
I get
I'm just
why they're-
remembering this now. He had the one where he split the clone in half of the door. That was
yeah,
pretty
with
cool.
the door.
Yeah.
That was
And
honestly, I hate
and Duel of the Fates too. They had the hallway.
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
So-
oh my god, get out of hallways. Please. Fight choreographers, storytellers, please. There's so many more cool fight places besides this damn hallway.
I do like the top
Oh.
of a building idea.
Maybe
that
he's
would
just
make for
he's
some
scared
cool scenery.
I don't know
of
why
open
Yes. popped in my
spaces.
head.
There's
Beach?
Coruscant in the background.
I do.
Like a lava
A beach?
Like a lava beach where
What?
one person jumps over the
That's
other
happened.
and
I do like the rooftop idea. That actually is
be
cool.
cool.
Or I
Oh,
do. I
collapsing
like.
building.
I
Oh
like
my
collapsing building too, though. Like it starts on a rooftop that ends in a collapsing building. That would be really cool.
It would look so pretty too because we're on Coruscant. It can
We
be
get to
like
see
on the
those nice
lower
painted
levels, the middle
backgrounds.
levels,
Uh-huh,
up top.
uh-huh,
Like there's a billion places it could be on Coruscant alone. There's how many thousands of different levels on that planet or whatever? I don't know.
Potential.
That's for someone else to know.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Call the lore
Yeah.
expert.
Yeah, I'm sure. I guarantee. Hold on.
Guaranteed. Oh, bro. Yeah. Text
While
him.
we continue, I'm gonna
Say,
I'm
do
gonna
not
ask him.
Google it. Do you just know off the top of your head? That's what you have to ask, though. Let me see what the next notes we have are. Oh, they're just about Maul and his aura. It says, okay, the aura Maul has, insane. I freaking love it. And the next one, really good. So much aura. Which is true. Like, so far, Maul, for all of us watching, he's such a notable character and stuff. And so just, I love how he keeps, actually, one thing I really like about Maul is how he's not sending everyone out to do the dirty work for him.
Yeah.
In every scene. So, like, he's like, oh, we need to go to this prison and capture this dude. He's at the front, leading this mission, So he's not just, like, letting everyone else do it for him. I think that's really cool.
I'm still trying to figure out what the word aura means. Just in general, not just from that. But, like, people keep saying that, and I'm like...
Oh, man.
What?
So the lore expert did get back to me.
Does he know?
He
knows.
sounded confident. I don't know if this is right.
What did
or
he
not.
confidently say?
5,127.
That's correct.
That's insane. He just knew that off the dome. Like I was barely done sending the message, and it was like, oh, here's the answer, and I was like, okay.
That's
grass.
both cool and concerning. To know yeah. Is it just a
It's
huge
been
Star Wars nerd, or does he like other fandoms too? Is it just exclusive?
The other fandoms are, let's see, Warhammer, Lord of the Rings.
I was expecting him to say he was a brony as well. I was fully. ready.
Probably. I don't know.
Oh no, God.
That's crazy to be like, oh, let me tell you.
It was just instant. I was like, oh, okay.
I knew there were 5,000. I didn't know any more than that.
Was it
And
5,127?
then he gives like a super long explanation of like the lowest accessible one is 1313. Everything beyond that is very hard to get to, outright hostile. To it's like an essay. Yeah. Like I'm sure he's right, but yeah.
Yeah.
You can go lower than 1313, but yeah, he's right. Mostly.
I don't know.
Mostly.
This is some obscure knowledge to me that either I wasn't paying attention or hadn't seen or read.
You
this.
say obscure,
Anyway.
but if you ever end up on Coruscant, you're screwed. So
Yeah, probably.
I'll be
If
up
I end
on
up in the
level
Star
5,000
Wars universe, I'm
drinking
screwed.
mimosas.
Good to know. Spybot is my spirit droid. The
I'm
golem droid.
concerned.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's,
Like, what does that say about them as a person?
Hey, you're a creep.
that's what it is. What does that mean?
I like spying on people from a distance. I like zooming in on them and then saying, "I see you." Yeah, that's your spirit animal. Okay, put that person on the watch list.
Okay,
Probably
well,
works for
episode
Oracle or something. Surveillance state people. God, we're all done.
Oh my gosh.
Ah,
Okay. Our next note, it's well, episode 1 was just okay in my opinion.
oh my God.
Episode
Wrong.
2 seemed like a much better introduction to the story. I think that's the thing though, is like that's why they released 1 and 2 back to back, because it was, when you're watching the first episode of any show, it's a huge, like, it's setting the stage for what the rest of the show is going to be like. And they did a really great job, in my opinion, like, introduction to all the characters, what's going on, because we're coming in the middle of what's already been going on for a while. And so it's, giving us context for everything going on without feeling like we're lost. You see, okay, there's something that happened we don't know about, but you don't feel like just confused, and it's just like immediately invested. It was really cool. I think they did a really great job. Especially the whole like prison break scene. I really, really enjoyed. I thought that was great.
I think something Noah said earlier in this episode, but how it starts pretty action heavy. Like, yeah, we don't necessarily know what kicked it off.
Where did he go?
Something kicked Noah off.
Oh no.
It was me. R.I.P. Noah. Anyway,
It's just
Oh,
like
there he is.
Oh,
was he back?
that wacko.
Welcome back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what happened?
My computer just like shut off and like reset.
Oh.
Because I talked about
It's working.
talking
Yeah,
about state. This is what happens. This is how they suppress me.
You're gonna get replaced with AI.
Yeah, maybe I am
Oh
AI.
boy.
Nah.
AI has some very hot takes.
I was gonna say no. Yeah, I was gonna say AI does not have as hot a takes as you do.
What did I miss? Let me.
I was just yammering on about how
that person was wrong.
yammering, yapping, whatever, all of it.
Oh.
About how we don't necessarily know what kicked everything off, but we don't feel out of the. I don't feel out of the loop. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, something happened. There's probably going to be some sort of exposition or story or monologue as to what it was or whatever.
And I
But
mean, even at this point, if there isn't, it's still.
it's
I don't
okay.
feel lost.
It's
about
perfectly
anything.
fine. It's
That's not the main point.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's any kind of flashback or like monologue about what had happened, but at the same time, it doesn't feel necessary at this point.
it was straight into the action, straight into the meat of the story, which I'm here for. So that's why I really enjoyed both episodes.
I feel like
Yeah.
the first episode covered a lot. And I would say it was my favorite out of the two, probably.
I mean, it also
I need
gave
to
us
rewatch both.
like a setting of like when and where this is taking place.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I hadn't seen any of the trailers, so I knew nothing about this. I was like, it's, you know, it's a show about Maul. At some point between the end of Clone Wars and the greatest scene in all of Rebels, where he dies. Right, Noah?
Yeah, great.
The
scene,
coolest-
great
coolest-
show.
yeah.
My favorite.
Fantastic fight. Top 3 lightsaber fights of all
I'm
time.
gonna get
We
vulgar
should learn
here
that
in a minute.
choreography.
Oh, we should. That'd be really cool.
What did you say?
We should learn the fight choreography for Maul and Obi-Wan
Oh yeah,
Wow.
it'd
The
take
second
months.
fight.
and Rebels.
Y'all
It'd
can
take
prefer
months to
that than
prepare.
it's gone.
I don't know. We'd have to find someone who could teach us that. It's,
Imagine that
It's, like,
though.
pretty
We're gonna
difficult.
do a Maul and Obi fight. Everyone thinks it's Duel of the Fates.
they just
not.
just one hit and
It just falls over. Oh boy.
Yeah, and he falls into Riley's
There's-
arms, whoever this Maul is, and then they kiss. Which should be much more interesting than what happened in the show.
the internet would love that.
I think so.
It's going in my private folder.
Okay, let's see.
Yeah.
There's so many. There's pauses, and I go to move on, but it seems like such a dramatic. Like, okay, next. Moving on.
Now for something completely different.
I was shocked at how many Mandalorians are still with Maul. I thought he lost most, if not all of them, at the end of the Clone Wars.
Maul DeLoreans.
Mandalorians.
I don't
Which
think I've heard
actually,
that term, but it
they
makes sense.
Never heard
they
of it.
were remember
Okay.
there were the Mandalorians that had the horns. You
Yeah.
know that's when they first started being called
Yeah.
Mandalorians. But I feel like all these ones were normal looking Mandos. But
I mean,
Mandalorian
makes
is still fitting.
sense. Mandalorians
They were
in general.
circumcised.
It makes sense to me. Mandalorians are always gonna fight each other. And what was the line? It was like
They shed their horns.
the biggest enemy of the Mandalorians is Mandalorians. It's blah blah blah. It's like so.
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily surprised that some decided to stay with him,
Yeah,
but it is really cool to see.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
I do like seeing Maul at this point. Like, you know, he's not the character of just like a crazy backstabber who is like, oh, I don't need you anymore, buddy, who's been with me for the last while.
Like the
You
Joker.
know, like, let me just get rid of you. Yeah, so he's just like, you know, so they're loyal to him because he's, you know, he tells them this is my vision, this is what we're working towards, and that's actually what's going on. He's not just, you know, lying to their faces.
Definitely feels much more intentional than when we saw his return in the Clone Wars when he was just a crazed lunatic. At least starting out, now he's much more calculated. Everything.
He had
even,
quite the comeback.
even the lines he says and the way the lines were delivered, or the things he said specifically, were like he has a plan. He's very intentional about what is happening. So it's cool to see.
I will say I would like to see him a little crazier. I know this is a character who's been through and seen some absolute crazy things, and we've seen him in mental states all throughout his entire life post being split in half, and it's not good. It never has been. So I would like to see. I don't want to say Joker-esque, but a little more of like unhinged, like maybe not like the type to backstab, but I also don't wouldn't put it past him. I would like to see a little bit more of a guy who, while is meticulous in the way that he plans, is also a guy who's been through a lot and has a few screws loose because that is Darth Maul.
Yeah, and I wouldn't even be surprised if as this series goes on, we start to see that. Because by the time we see this dude in Rebels, he is more like that. Mm-hmm. So I wouldn't entirely be surprised.
Yeah, I think it would be interesting to see what gets him there. Like, what gets him to that, like, crazy, like, if some plan or thing goes out the window, how long does it take for him to just snap?
Yeah, and it's interesting to me, too, to see him, because we've seen him, because he's always so heavily involved in very, kind of Jedi Sith problems and, like, kind of events like that, and, like, him coming back and to, from being a spider, and, like, weird things like that, which is usually when he's more on the crazy side.
No. I killed the bus driver.
Spider Maul.
Yeah, Spider Maul. And so, in seeing him now, like, he seems to have, he's a little more level-headed because, nothing he's doing at this point is heavy on the, like, the Jedi Sith side. It's all, like, the crime syndicates and, like, things like that. So I'm curious if anything gets involved in the more, like, mystical force elements, if that's where he starts tweaking, you know?
I do want to ask, do we have any actual speculation on who we think? Because you didn't see, obviously, because you haven't watched trailers, but there was a scene that we've seen on some of the promos where he goes, "My lord." Who do we think he's talking to?
What's some of the context behind that?
That's the context we have. We saw him. I believe he
haven't
was
seen
kneeling, I think.
You said that
I
was in
think
the
it was
trailer?
just, like, that.
But yeah,
That
that
was
was
the
the
only
only
clip that we've
context is he was kneeling and he said, "My lord," and that's it. That's all we got.
Okay, in that I remember seeing that. I didn't look too hard. Was it, like, hologram style or in person?
In person,
Or was
it
that
looked.
not? Okay.
But we didn't see it. It was literally it was a frame on him. We didn't see any other person. We didn't see a reflection. Could it be Darth?
No.
It could be.
I think, yeah.
Was it
I can see that.
I
Was
think
it
it
with
would be. I would be more shocked if it was Palpatine
It's not Palpatine.
versus, like, Vader. That seems a little more.
Yeah.
It
I
could
don't
be a
imagine that
flashback
ever
of him
being good.
and Palpatine. Was it like Maul series Maul, or could it have been like
It
episode
looked
one?
it was very clearly like a Maul series Maul.
Like
like
Maul.
Empire era Maul. Got it. Okay.
There was, and I don't know if this is AI generated because it looks a little interesting, but there also was some art that was leaked. I don't know if any of you had seen that. They don't know if this is real, but
Ooh. See, that would be
I can't see
cool.
that from here.
It's Vader.
It's Jar Jar.
but it's those
Jar
Disney
Jar.
Plus like character promo arts that they put out, and it was supposedly leaked. So there's a decent possibility that,
Okay, let's
so
hypothetically, if it is Vader,
I
how do y'all
don't-
feel about that?
I don't think it would be because Maul has already expressed that, like, he hates like Sidious, Darth Sidious. He's like,
Yeah.
But I would be
so
curious.
does Darth Vader, though.
I would be so curious to
At
see
this
because
point already, though.
Yeah!
I wouldn't be surprised at this point because even in, like, the comics and stuff, there's more lore behind, like, Vader. And
Darth Vader hating Palpatine. He hated Palpatine the moment he got on that medical chair. Like, after he rolled up all dramatically with his legs and, chopped off, you best believe that he wanted absolutely nothing to do with Palpatine. He hated him from the moment that he
Yeah.
like, on that hill, he hated everything. So, yeah, absolutely.
It would be interesting to see it if it was Vader because in season 7, Maul's talking to Ahsoka and his, like, Anakin is being groomed by Palpatine to become this thing, and we need to stop it. So it'd be cool to see, like, everything
He
had
might
come to
not know.
pass. And
I was gonna say
I don't
that.
think he
does
I
would.
want
he
to
know?
see, like, his, like, their introduction, like, how that would come about, like, if he would catch on,
They
if he would
gotta
know, if, like, things like that.
There's no
Like,
way
that
they
would
don't
be-
meet.
That
At
would
least
be
once.
that would be really cool just because of that, dynamic of him previously like wanting to kill Anakin beforehand to
Yeah.
then seeing Vader and kneeling, calling him my lord and like things like that. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I don't see it being Palpatine that Maul sees.
No.
No, not initially. And I don't know. Could it be some other new player we haven't seen?
Darth Jar Jar.
Okay,
I was
all
gonna
right.
say.
Bro.
Cool your jets.
Could be Mace Windu.
Could be Obi-Wan.
In what
Okay, all
world?
right. None of those are legit.
That's a bit far.
But no.
We also have to think realistically as well. Oh man, yeah. It's curious. I need to. What I should do is I haven't been watching much of the promos or trailers because I just we're gonna see the show anyway. So speculation I haven't done much on, but it is fun. Is this a word?
Probably not.
I like how the animation becomes painterly.
Yeah,
Every
that's
time
what-
Maul ignites his saber and goes insane. Painterly.
What does that mean?
It
Painterly?
It's
It's how-
it's like an art style where there's like brush strokes in a sense. Like
Okay.
it's different for animation, but it's like it's visible brush strokes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was really cool. It makes it feel
Artistic.
grittier. Yeah, and artistic. It
Like Kill Bill
adds
type feel to it.
Yep. Adds depth. It's not all just like the same. I don't want to see the animation style like drastically change.
No.
But for some of the action sequences and like the hallway scene with the lightsabers ignited and how it, I don't want to say felt sloppy, but it definitely felt more painted.
Yeah.
Like it had the brush strokes and it was grittier. I liked it.
The background's
Yeah.
also notably, especially in comparison, because Bad Batch is the most recent thing that we can really compare to this. The background had a lot more detail, and it wasn't just the detail of like, oh, we're just trying to make it like dirtier. Like you could tell that every single frame had taken much more detail, and a lot more time on painting the backgrounds. Like they really worked hard. You can tell.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's one thing I really loved is all the scenes like with the backgrounds. It just looked so like pretty at the same time as looking like having that gritty kind of
Yeah.
underworld feel. It was just the colors that they used and everything. It was just
It's a
really
pretty ugly.
really
But a very pretty ugly.
exactly pretty ugly. Yeah, another note too. It's just I love the art in these two. The
Yep.
backgrounds look incredible. The details peak. We have this last note here. I'm curious how we're gonna follow Maul as a protagonist without making him less evil. So I'm excited to see where the series goes overall.
Protagonist.
Okay,
Anything
actually,
else?
how do you feel about in the Maul series, like because they've introduced so many characters right out the gate, it following Maul heavily versus like a Boba Fett style where there's like episodes that Boba Fett's barely in and like that direction.
God.
I feel like it has to stay true to. It can't pull a Mandalorian or Boba Fett where
Yeah.
it's like multiple different story arcs going on and this and that. No. You already have people who are clearly invested in the. I mean, it got greenlit for a second season already.
I don't think
Have to
it.
keep it.
I'll be real. I don't think it ever was not going to have a second season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
It was a very weird announcement on their end. I'll admit.
I mean, generates a bit more hype for the show.
That I
just
get.
before release, so
Yeah.
might as well. But I want to see like fully dedicated to this story. The episodes, this being an animated show, are already very short. Like the second episode, the whole runtime was 23 minutes. That is recap. That is with the recap.
Don't punch the microphone. What did it do to you?
It's in the way.
Oh.
That was with the intro, with the recap, the entire episode, and the credits. So you take away like the recap and end credits,
Yeah.
and we have 18 minutes, maybe.
It's a long
It
time.
goes to show, though, if
Which is
at
good.
the end of this series, if everyone's like, dang, that was great, they told so much story, like how much you can do with such a short amount of time.
Exactly, which
you
is
don't
why
need
I
40 minutes.
don't want to see them take 18 minutes or 20 minutes away to talk about someone else we don't care about.
Yeah,
This
exactly.
is the Maul show, not the Maul and Friends.
Maul and Company.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Is that all we have for user notes?
What was that?
Yes, that's all the listener notes we've
Oh
got.
my god. Y'all gotta step it up.
Hey, I told you this at the beginning of our shows. Usually the listener notes are minimal. By the time we get to the finale, there's a lot more.
If they're not, I'm gonna laugh.
It's not the
Don't
amount,
laugh
it's
at
just
me.
that, you know, some of the takes are just extremely limp. Weak.
Yeah, come up with hotter takes
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
listener notes.
It's a call to action.
Say something
Give us something
controversial.
interesting. Yeah, like tell
Give
like
us I would actually love that is very hot takes or like
Yeah.
deep questions. Like make us really think about it and debate and argue and stuff like that.
Like, do we
Try to
really need a season
divide
2
it.
if Kathleen Kennedy is no longer on Lucasfilm staff? No, we don't, because it's not going to feel the same. Kathleen Kennedy was around for the creation of this, by the way. We're going to give you credit? No. Looking at you,
That's
Riley.
true.
God.
That's true.
Have we had this conversation or no?
No, and it's going to happen, but maybe not today, but that conversation will happen.
Let's do a whole podcast episode about it.
I'm down. I have notes. Like, I'm
Kathleen
ready.
Kennedy
I'm ready to
podcast
have this
episode.
You
conversation.
got notes? Oh, that's all for nothing. Young Padawan.
Yeah, apparently. I'll see y'all next month when we record.
See, the episode we're gonna frame
Next
it though
quarter,
as
next
like
business
Yeah.
quarter,
the
when our earnings
battle.
are down.
Okay. Yep.
When we look at
Battle
the 5-year
Royale.
anniversary of
One
the
of us will
Mando
be
movie.
dead by then.
It's been fun.
I imagine you both coming to fight, and then you guys find out, like, oh wait, we have the same
Our
opinion.
opinions are the
We
same.
don't.
Okay, cool.
I think we do. He just doesn't know it.
No. Yeah.
See, and that's why I'd make a very interesting episode.
That's the moment that Noah changed his opinion.
Womp womp. I don't know. Tune into, I don't know, whatever episode that is.
Yeah.
Whenever that's out.
Whenever
Yeah.
that's a great question. We should make it happen though.
Nuclear
We should
war
all write
happened
her thank
before
you
that.
notes for this show.
Hmm?
We should all write her thank you notes for this
I
show.
agree. I'd like her. I still want a cardboard cut out of her.
In the
There
background.
was one in the men's room at MegaCon.
Oh man,
Did I send you that picture?
no.
No. Okay.
I wanted that cardboard cut out. I wanted it.
You should have said something.
I have voiced how much I love Kathleen Kennedy my entire time, and nobody thought, oh, this might be something that Noah would like to keep in his
You know what? Let's-
kitchen
It did
or
not
whatever.
come up in conversation while
See,
we were at
you
MegaCon.
can love her to as much an extent as you want, but a cardboard cutout is a whole other level.
I'm
No.
sure there's a body pillow someone's
She
made
said,
up.
yeah, no, that's too far. No, not. I will not entertain
See, there's
that.
a fine line once you start getting to full
Yeah,
size.
body pillow. That's a different. Yeah,
versions.
no, it could be borderline creepy enough for me to have a cardboard cut out, but when we start having body pillow, that's like Jeffrey Dahmer discussion. We're not going there now. I'm from
I mean,
Milwaukee.
you-
I'd like to not follow in those footsteps.
Already halfway
Oh
there.
boy, yeah. It starts with the cardboard cutout.
Yeah, it's all downhill from there, people.
Anyway,
Do we have anything else
does
to
anyone
add?
have any other closing thoughts before we head out for this week?
Mall show good.
Mall show good.
Mm-hmm.
Excited next week.
Very.
Yeah. Yeah, be sure. Let me just say this again. Listener notes, if you want to submit every week before the episode comes out on
Do
Monday.
better next week. Y'all suck.
Do better next week, so says Noah.
Bum
I'm
takes.
going to put a box. It's going to be on our Instagram stories. We're at Star Wars Drift. Follow us over there. You'll have 24 hours to submit your notes. After watching the episode, we will talk about them on the podcast.
You're
Bring
getting
us your
blocked
hot
if they
takes.
suck.
I like that. No, yeah.
Noah's going to be the one reviewing
Stand on
your
business.
notes. He'll be
Yeah.
reviewing your notes. He will be giving his opinion.
If they're as weak as they were if they are as weak next week as they were this
Get it
week,
out.
we are going to we're gonna make up notes at this point.
Uh-huh. I'll
We're just
let
gonna
you
attach
do that.
random names to him too.
This is from Betty.
Yeah. This is
Oh
from
my
Nia.
gosh.
Hi. Oh my God. Look at that. He said, "Oh, I take back everything. I love Kathleen." See, we all come to light. There we go. Great, great community. Great
Crazy.
listener
We're
now.
all just one happy
AI is
family.
taking over.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, anything else that any of y'all want to say?
Let me look at my notes.
Nothing important.
Okay, nothing important. He needs a moment
He
to.
needs to look at his
Could you
notes.
play
Study-
the
study his
Jeopardy
notes.
theme? If that's not like
I should put that on
Copyrighted.
SoundPad if I can, like, or 7 seconds.
It's me,
7
William.
seconds.
Okay. No, my notes are
I'll
clear.
let you. All clear.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank y'all so much. Actually, let's go around the room. Instagram handles, all of y'all.
why are we looking at me? Oh,
You can start us off.
I can start.
Are you looking up your Instagram handle?
That's crazy.
I couldn't remember. I just changed it. Give me a break.
Oh boy. Even I just made a new account. Literally like 30 days ago. Anyway, that one's at Twin Sons Hermit on Instagram.
Mine's _Sierra.
Everyone, y'all know where to find me.
Yeah, you haven't changed yours.
Oh yeah, me. I guess. My.
Yeah, you're up.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Hi,
He's
my
still
name is
here?
Noah. Thank you for listening to my opinions. And my user is at North Korean Tour Guides. Yeah, you can find me there on Instagram. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you all so much for joining us. We will be back next week to talk about Maul episode 3. Again, listener notes. Until then, we will talk to y'all. I have spoken.
Pyongyang, woohoo.
Yub nub.
So long and thanks for all the fish.